Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle and I'm the owner and creator of the Aid Salt. It is my handmade small business where I make and sell scrunchies and hair accessory type products, mainly through markets. In today's video, I'll be giving you all a rundown of how to get into markets, how to trade at markets, what you need, and what the requirements are. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the video. Everyone, so today's video is all about markets and how to begin trading into them. Before we get stuck into the video, I thought I would give you all a bit of a background about me. I have been running my business for about nearly 3 years now, and I have traded at markets for over 2.5 years. I began trading at markets in 2021, and for the first 2 years I traded at markets 2 to 3 times every single week. So if you calculate that, that equates to hundreds of markets that I have traded at. I have traded at farmers markets, at regular markets, at night markets, at seasonal markets, at markets that happen once a year. You name it, I have traded at it. I thought I'll be able to give you all some information on how to get into markets and what you will need, what is required, and some beginner tips as well. A lot of the requirements I'll be sharing with you all is Australia based. It obviously will be different or a little different depending on where you are. A lot of the things will be transferable and relatable to your country and your country's requirements for small businesses, but this is an Australian business perspective and obviously my own personal perspective and experience as well. The first thing that I thought you definitely need, and I thought I would bring it up right at the beginning because you need this for almost every single process for your small business and for markets. So the first thing that you need is an ABN, and that stands for an Australian business number. You need to be a legitimate registered small business in order to trade at almost every single market. That is one of the requirements. You are asked for your ABN from every market to be accepted to trade at their markets. So that is something that you will need to have. You will need to have a registered business in order to trade at markets. It's very important. It's needed to be accepted to trade. It's needed to hold a Square or some sort of EFTPOS terminal, which I will get into. It's needed for so many things. So obviously the requirements to obtain one is different for where you are. There is a small fee involved. Once you register your ABN and you get your ABN number, you have that number for the rest of your life. That number is attached to you and your business forever. That is something that you definitely need and the number one thing on my list. The second most important thing that you will need to trade at markets is market insurance. I can have a whole video about market insurance and explaining it to you and the different types and all of that, but I'll just give you the quick rundown for this video. You do require market insurance in order to be accepted to trade at markets. It can be called, there's market liability, market insurance, there's product insurance, there's so many different things, but you will be asked when you are applying to a market, if you have insurance, what your policy number is, and etc. So it is a requirement. You have to have an ABN and you have to have market insurance. Some markets you're able to jump onto the markets insurance. All markets will have an insurance policy for their store holders, and you can pay a small fee on top of your store fee and then jump onto that for that one market. So if you don't have business insurance or market insurance, you can opt to do that as well. Obviously, there is a small additional fee to do that, but you must be covered to trade at every single market and at any market that you trade, whether it's indoor, outdoor, night, a very small farmers market. Regardless of the market, you must have market insurance. Because I trade at so many markets, I have my own market insurance that I pay for, but that is definitely a requirement and a very important one. You definitely want to be covered when you are trading or your product or your stock is out in the elements. You need to be able to protect that. You need to be able to protect yourself and any damages that may occur. So you definitely need to have that, and you'll need to have that before you apply for markets, because it is one of the requirements and questions that you need to answer, and you need to provide that information to the market organizers in order for them to accept you as a store holder. Another important thing that you need to have as well is some sort of POS terminal or FPOS terminal in order to be able to accept payments. Of course, you can have cash as well, but most people prefer to pay via POS terminal and using a credit card or their phone or whatnot. It's a much cleaner process. It's very quick, it's very easy, it's very simple. It gives you a face to your business as well. It lets people know that you are a legitimate business. In order to have a POS terminal, you have to have an ABN. So that's why people know and see you as a legitimate business when you do use an FPOS or POS terminal at your store. And that is why I said the number one thing that you will need is an Australian business number or an ABN to have your business registered, because you will need it for so many things. Patrons come up to your stall to purchase at a market and they see a POS terminal, they immediately know that you are a legitimate registered business, and that is always a plus. That is a good sign. It makes them feel comfortable to purchase from you. It's not expected to have a POS terminal as a store holder from patrons, but it is definitely something that you will need, and definitely something that you will use. It's definitely a plus. Carrying on from that as well, you will also need some sort of cash, some sort of petty cash to trade with as well. There are some people who will give you a $50 bill or a $100 bill or a $20 bill, and you will need to be able to give them change in order for them to purchase from you. So it's definitely recommended to bring some sort of petty cash with you. I usually carry mine in a little sports bag that I clip around my waist, and then I carry all my change and my notes and all that in there. Keep in mind, my products are geared towards children and teens, so I do get a lot of customer base who fall in that range, and they will pay with their pocket money or their birthday money or their Christmas money, and I need to be able to have the right change to give them. So for me, it's a very important thing. For you, it might not be, depending on what your product is, who your audience is, what you are selling and whatnot, but for me, it's definitely essential. I do recommend it regardless of your product, your price and your audience. It is definitely a good idea to carry some petty cash on you just in case it happens. You never want to lose a sale because you don't have cash or you don't have a POS terminal. So it's definitely a good idea to have both, and that is definitely a tip and trick from me, to carry petty cash with you at every market that you trade. Now that we have established that, you obviously need to have a display for your products. Now this is a very, very big thing. I could go on and on and on about this topic, but just to give a bit of a rundown, you need to be able to have something to display your products on or with or whatnot. You will need trestle tables, you will need a tablecloth, and you need display items to hold your products. Now you definitely want to display your products in the best light possible and have them kind of catch your customer's eye, but you definitely need to have some sort of display or display items and layout in mind, so when you do get to the market, you can just set it all out and it be ready for your customers to browse through and to obviously potentially purchase from you. But having a display is definitely something that you will need and something you will need to think about at the least, or have already planned out prior to trading at your first market. Getting into the market side and deciding on what markets to choose or where to find markets and whatnot. The first thing you need to think about is what you are selling and who you are aiming to sell it to. And that will help you narrow down what type of markets to pick. There are so many different type of markets. Not all of them are going to suit you. Not all of them are going to be targeted to you. So you need to be able to understand who you're selling to in order to know what markets that you will suit. For example, a festival may not suit everyone, or it may suit you to a T, or it may suit you 0%. It's kind of something that you need to judge, that you need to work out. And that you need to decide as well. There are so many markets around, especially in Sydney. We have so many different markets. There are a ton of different types of markets as well, all run by different organizers. So it's something you kind of need to research and gather information on. But my tip and trick for you is you need to find the market or markets that suit you, your product, and your audience. It might take a bit of trial and error, but you will obviously eventually get there. You might not find your perfect market the first time you trade, but it is a learning experience. Another thing I wanted to mention coming off the back of that is to always keep your belongings on you. If you are carrying petty cash or your POS terminal, keep it on you in case you need to go grab a drink, go to the bathroom, you need to walk off for a minute. Keep all your personal items with you at all times. It's not up to other store holders to mind your things for you. There are so many people walking about, so it's definitely something to keep in mind, especially when you are kind of setting up or packing down and you don't have all your attention on every single part of your store. It's very important to keep all your things with you at all times. Yeah. But that is all my tips and tricks for you all into how to get into your first market. I could go on about this topic for literally hours, maybe even days, but that is just a little beginner rundown for you all. I do have a poll up on my Instagram where you can go and ask me any question that you would like me to answer, anything I haven't answered in today's video, anything you want me to expand on. There is a poll up on my stories. They are my tips and tricks for markets. I obviously have so many more. I have been trading at markets for so long, and I have traded at a lot of markets and a lot of different markets as well. So anything you need to know, do ask me and I will try my best to answer them for you. I do want to say I do love and enjoy trading at markets. It's one of my favorite things for my small business that I like to do. I do work from home, so I love going out to meet all your customers, to meet new customers, to meet old customers, to make new friends, whether it be with store holders or patrons or a customer. For me, it's so much fun and brings me so much joy when I trade at markets. I love market days. I love the vibe of markets. I love the atmosphere of markets. It is definitely a big part of my business. It's something I definitely enjoy doing, and I hope it's something you all can learn to enjoy as well. It has taken a long time for me to get into markets and to be able to gain enough knowledge for me to feel comfortable to share that knowledge with you. You definitely need some experience, but you will get there with time, and there are so many store holders around you who will support you and give you their tips and tricks as well, because there are some store holders who have been trading at markets for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years. So there's a lot of knowledge to be gained from that as well. But that is it for this video. Thank you all for clicking and joining me in this video. I hope it was beneficial. I hope it was informative. I hope it answered some of your questions. That is it for this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.